Hey, good morning, Internet. Today is Thursday?
Who cares? Thursday.
It's September the 1st at Magic Camp. There's Jason Brumbalow, Eric Jones, water, more water. Unfortunately, there is no sun, but who cares? It's magic, we're outside. Now, the purpose of this is to get to know Jason Brumbalow, right here, and Eric Jones, who we all know and love, right here. We've seen more of Eric than we have of Jason lately. But if you've seen those Pure Smoke and... what was the other one?
Shift.
Pure Smoke and Shift videos online, which I know you have. Even if you haven't bought it, I know you've seen it because the link's out there by now. Then you know all about Jason, who he is. However, that was a big boat. Where did it go?
I don't know, but I love the motion of the ocean.
The motion of the ocean, nice. So Jason, everybody knows who you are, but what do you do?
I keep the machine running, man. No, I'm actually I'm the VP of Illusionist, and I do everything from manage and oversee production, product development with Eric and a few of the other guys on the team, and basically just make sure that Illusionist Heartbeat continues to thump. Overseeing everything from the website to the marketing to artists relationships, making sure that we have new product coming in and out all the time. So it's basically I'm just the everything guy,
Okay, now I know very few people know this, and I assume I could say it for him, but I won't. How did you come to be with Illusionist?
Through designing decks. It first started with Magic. I've said this a lot. Just wanted to be the coolest daddy at show and tell, and I loved Illusionist when I was in Magic. So I had a big passion to design cards when I saw Illusionist was coming out, I think with the Ghost deck back in 2004. So I started designing decks, and the first started with the Arcane. And I was up late one night, and I kind of had fallen asleep a little bit and had an idea for an ace, sketched that out, and it just basically spanned the entire Illusionist forums with the design, seeing if I could get any interest. And it made it all the way up to Brad in just less than a few hours.
The Arcane, really?
Yeah, the Arcane ace.
So you've been working on the Arcane for like 5 years?
Oh yeah, no, it started like back in 2005.
I did not know that.
And we just kept it buried for years and years and years.
Wow.
And it was one day, hey, I was just talking with Brad and I said, hey, do you remember this? Showed him that ace, and he was like, oh God, I forgot about that.
Because it was the Masters. The Masters were the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The Vintage, you did the Vintage as well?
Did the Masters, the Vintage. I worked with you on the Gaff decks.
Right.
And worked with Wayne and Danny on the Ultra Gaff.
Okay.
Then came, did we say the Vintage already?
Yeah. The redesign of the Vintage, obviously.
Yeah, the redesign. Then the Shadow Masters. Did that soon after the Masters, actually.
Right.
Black Ghost Second came along, and then the Arcane got put to work.
So when you say Black Ghost, what's different about the Black Ghost Second?
Black Ghost Second has different jokers. It has a different box design. Obviously, it says second edition on it.
Right.
And then some of the panels are different. Different card stock, a few things. I think the Black Ghost Second doesn't fluoresce like the first edition does. But we do use superior finishing than we did on the first Black Ghost. So it's a stronger deck of cards and lasts longer.
So for those of you with the Reader's Digest version, he designed cards and then took over. That's what you need to do. Make a card and then take over.
And then take over something, yeah.
And then the gentleman beside you, Eric Jones, has been more and more, what's the word I'm looking for? Prominent. Involved with. So what's tell us about yourself, Eric.
Specifically about Illusionist?
No, yourself. Everyone knows Eric Jones, the amazing coin guy. So what about Eric Jones, the guy who's sitting here at Magic Camp?
I just turned 30. I'm originally from New Jersey. I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. I've been a full-time professional magician since September 2010. Prior to that, I was working for State Farm Auto Claims as a claims adjuster.
So you're the guys that always said no.
Yeah, no. I would cut the checks. I would appraise the damage and I would cut the check. my involvement with Illusionist is I'm working for product development. So if you have an idea that you'd like to see as a product, you send me an email or send Jason an email, and we'll take a look at it. We'll see if it's noteworthy. If it is, we'll help you develop it into a full product so that we can carry it on the website.
That's his nice way of saying it's got to meet the Jones standard.
Yeah, it really does.
And if I was going to say it, it can't suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, now you said since 2010 performing.
Oh, no, I've been performing for 10 years.
So
but
professional since 2010.
full-time professional, 110% of my income derived from either performance or the sale of magic products or performance of magic.
And so why coins?
Why coins?
Yeah.
Well, when I first got into magic, I walked into a magic shop. The proprietor of the magic shop had a jar. It had a dime and a penny. He would cover it like this and he'd shake it and ask me how much money was inside. I said 11 cents. When he turned it around, he'd show that there would be only 2 pennies. And I thought it was kind of cool. He'd shake it again, ask me how much. I'd say 2 cents. He said, no, you're not paying attention. When he turned it towards me, it had 2 dimes. And then he would take the 2 coins out and hand them to me. At the time, I didn't go in looking for magic. Well, I came in looking for magic, but not to purchase any. So I went home and tried to figure out a way to do the same trick. So I took a couple of dimes, a couple of pennies, and emptied out a jelly jar with the lid. And I devised a way to do this just by thinking of remembering what I saw. So a couple of weeks later, I go back into the magic shop and I show the guy the same trick using the method that I devised with no knowledge of magic whatsoever. And he was kind of impressed, and he showed me the real work, which of course I've learned now to be the dime and penny with the little shell. And I had no concept of using any type of gaff. Because I expressed interest in coin magic, what he did was he gave me a really good discount on Bobo's Modern Coin Magic and Introduction to Coin Magic by Michael Lamar. I took those 2 DVDs along with a SpongeBall DVD and a few sponges, and that propelled me into my journey into the world of sleight of hand and more specifically coin magic.
Nice. Funny story. My first ever experience with magic was I was serving in a restaurant. And some guy came in, made the red handkerchief disappear, and then made some water vanish from one hand to another hand. And what killed me is because I'd seen that, and that's what got me interested in magic. And I went to Jeff. He had a little kiosk at the Browser's Den, not the Browser's Den, at Canada's Wonderland. This was before he owned the Browser's Den.
Okay.
And so I'm like, oh wow, magic! I need something on coin magic. Like, what do you got? So he hands me Bobos, and this is like back like I wasn't in school. I was just having fun. He goes, this is all you need. And of course, it was a little too difficult because, the language and the way I read and stuff like that. I took one look at it after reading it for like 5 pages. No, let's go just do some card magic. It's nice and easy. So that was my experience with coin magic. But the funny thing is, after seeing that thing with the red, everybody knows the red handkerchief, so we know what's going on. But after seeing that,
I don't know it.
You're kidding me, right? Okay, I do the funny stuff. But after seeing him do that, I went out and, like I said, well, I need to, what's new and great, and what's the latest thing in magic? And I got sold one of those little things that you stick on your hand. And I had that for a good 2 years before I realized that's how he also made the water go from one hand to the other. And it was like, boom, big, huge light bulb. That was like the dawning of a new era for me. Like, wow, I didn't have to do what was cookie cutter magic. I didn't have to read from the book to learn. So, like you said, you just picked up Bobos. Was there anything else that you learned from, or was it all? Because it sounds like you're an early creator.
No. I spent the first 6 years devoted just to that book, and I treated it like it was a textbook. I highlighted areas that I thought were important. I underlined. I took notes in the pages, and I learned just about every trick in the book, with the exception of things like the T. Nelson Downs, Miser's Dream, and stuff that required gimmicks like a coin wand. But I learned just about everything from that. And the first show that I performed was literally all coin magic. And it sucked. And it sucked because after the first 3 or 4 coin tricks in a row, the audience just stops caring. How many times can you cause coins to travel from hand to hand? So I learned variety. So I learned after about 6 years into magic, after performing my first real show, that I did need that variety, and that's when I branched out to card magic. I learned some stand-up magic, and my journey is still evolving. I've only been in magic for 11 years, so I know I have a ton to learn. And Edwin Sachs' sleight of hand, they suggest a progression. The progression is coin magic first. That way you learn how to hold out, how to become natural holding out. After that, you'd learn card magic. That way you learn how to tell a story. And then from there, you'd progress on to stand-up magic. That way you can learn showmanship. And then on to things like the stage magic, mentalism, and things along that nature. So right now, I'm just in phase 2, just the card magic. Well, I'm doing stages 2 and 3, the card magic and the stand-up magic all together. But like I said, I still got a ton to learn.
And you know, I'm going to jump in. One of the things I always appreciated about Eric, like even when we were shooting metal, Eric is not the type of guy that professes or claims to know everything. When we were shooting metal, you still have that book of Bobos, like over to the side, you know, for any reference material handling and whatnot, which I thought was cool.
And just as a side note for everybody listening, he claims to have just been 3 years for card magic,
3 years
right?
for card magic.
I'm 20 years, and he blows me out of the water and fools me. So 3 years, guys, 3 years. That's all you need to be proficient with cards is 3 years and a whole lot of time.
No, it takes a lot more. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of dedication, a lot of hours, and a lot of performance. The only way to get good is to get caught. So you really need to go out and perform as often as possible.
Do you perform, Jason?
I do. Mainly volunteer work, children's hospitals. So if I do mess up, there's no check on the line. You know, it's just more like.
So what kind of performing do you do?
I do simple card stuff like Here Then There, where the cards transpo. I stick to the same 8 or 9 tricks that I've been doing for the past 9 years. I've just never had a reason to break out beyond that. I don't get bored with what I'm doing, and you know, I'm not showing the same people the same tricks a lot of times, so I'm moving around a lot. Gypsy thread, coin vanishers, things like that. So,
well, what's the saying? Amateurs do 100 tricks well. Professionals do 9 tricks very well.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure I'm butchering it, but that's the gist
that's
of
the
it.
gist of it. Yeah.
So and I'm the same way. Like my card warp, my the things that I do, I love them and I do them to death, and they've kind of morphed into my own little routines now. Like I learned them from the book. It's like you said. The Wesley James enchantment, the card warp. You said you don't like card warp, do you?
I don't dig card warp at all.
You don't. Is there a particular reason, or you just don't like the premise?
I just don't like the premise. I think there's a lot of other things that could be done better. But if I was going to choose one, I keep saying David Wren Jenkins has one called Warp 1.
Warp 1.
And that's probably the best one on the market right now.
And if you're lucky enough, 3 or 4 years ago, you could have got that from Illusionist. Not anymore, so it's too late. Go get it from. No, forget it. You didn't hear me say that. So, Jason, what can we look forward to?
Probably the big one that we're excited about is Pure Smoke. We finally hit what I consider to be the holy grail of smoke from the hands. Something that's very safe, something that's not messy. There's been a lot of chemical problems. There's been a lot of leakage problems with prior smoke devices. This one, you don't have to worry about any type of staining. You don't have to worry about the jacket linings getting eaten out. Your rings corroding or whatnot.
And just like any trick that says may cause cancer, avoid that, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the may cause cancer, I think, is frightening enough. Just so there's a chance. But yeah, this we had a great time with it. We brought it out at Magic Live, and we just had rave reviews. Guys like Michael Weber and John Pendragon and. I think even David Copperfield got one.
Copperfield, Chris Kenner.
Yeah.
So we sold one to Joel Bauer.
Yeah.
Tons of guys, tons of professionals in our industry, celebrity professionals in our industry.
Yeah, McBride loved it.
Yeah, Jeff McBride, Luna Shimada. Yeah.
And so,
Cyril
from what you guys have said, it's almost perfect.
Yeah, almost perfect. The only problem we had was a little bit of a locking on the cartridge, so we're fixing that. Those should be ready. And
well, I wasn't going to get into details.
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
I mean, the point is that it doesn't matter. We're going to constantly revise this till it is perfect.
Right.
Every time we make a new run, we're listening to the feedback from everybody that's coming back, and we're going to make this perfect. On top of that something nobody's ever seen before is the red and the black smoke. We'll have an entire line of colors by this time next year.
I'm looking forward to tartan smoke myself.
Tartan? What the hell color is
what
that?
Is
plaid, man. It's plaid. That's
plaid,
that's
really?
what the Scots
Okay.
call it. It's tartan.
Okay.
For
like serviette. I didn't know what that was.
yeah, you're from the States. I'll have my tea sweetened, please. Just international lessons from Jason and Eric.
Yeah.
But yeah. Once you get like multicolored, in the same puff, then I'll be impressed.
I'll get to work on it.
Anything else besides pure smoke?
Actually, a lot of things. Mainly, that's what Eric and I are getting to work back, and when we get back, we have a lot of product development to go. But right now, we're concentrating. We're trying not to put too many things in the fold. I just want to concentrate on smoke, make sure it's a great release, and make sure people get a fantastic product. So,
and this speaks to production, because a lot of the guys, I'm hoping you guys can hear this anyways, a lot of you guys know that I review stuff, and one of the worst reviews I've ever given to someone, you'll have to go, I'm not going to bring up history. Production value is important, guys, so it's nice to know that people are taking the time to not rush something to market, to test it, to make sure it works, and to actually put the time and effort into making sure that what you get is what you pay for. Not something that's half-assed and rushed to market just because they want to rush the latest and greatest to market. Illusionists used to do that years and years ago, where like every couple weeks, every month, there was a huge release, and that takes a lot of time and energy, and mistakes happen, and products start to falter the quality. So you may not appreciate the time between releases, guys,
Yeah.
but I tell you, trust me. The time between releases, it goes into making sure that what you're getting is the utmost quality and the best quality for the money. The fact that you can go out and use it, and make sure that it's something you will use, something you're not just going to put on your shelf and say, forget it. I've got Ultra Smoke at home, because this is the other smoke we were talking about, and I thought it was great, but when I got it in my hands and realized that how bad it was,
Yeah.
it's now sitting in my shelf, probably corroding my shelf. I should probably throw them out
look,
soon.
I know 95% of Ultra Smokes are sitting at the bottom of somebody's shelf just because of that problem.
So quality, guy, in this day and age where information is everywhere, the quantity is no longer the crux. It is the quality of the information you're getting now, and that is the direction from that Illusionist is going. That's why.
Well, why I have you on here, I'm going to call you out.
Oh, shit.
In front of all the My Magic Stuff fans, I wanted to tell you that I hung out with Will Sy a couple of times, and he said, your guy tore me a new one on my Cash Out product. And he said, I wanted to personally extend a thank you to him for doing that, because if you notice, all of his production value is fantastic now. And he said it all started with that review that you got, and that was his I see the light moment. So,
but it all starts somewhere.
It does.
If you can't be perfect the first time, at least learn from the first time and
Absolutely.
strive towards perfection.
Yeah.
We got a few more days. We got Eric Jones. We got Jason Brumbalow, Texan, living in Canada for a week, where there's clouds. The weather is not. What would you say? 105?
Yeah.
Is that what it is back home now?
Yeah, it's brutal.
It's actually like jeans weather here in Canada. I'm not sure what you'd be wearing.
Yeah, at least, we can't do stuff like
Oh. Come on, baby! Oh, dude. You just got my camera wet and you flashed your butt crack on camera. So
You edit that, right?
you know that's not cutting out. But, yes. So we're here at Magic Camp. This is obviously being posted afterward we're done. Like, it's just I'm not uploading this on my cell phone. It's going to take forever. But look at everything I've posted. By all means, go download or buy the DVD for Metal. And is it public?
Go ahead.
Is that public yet?
I don't know. This might be the first place it's really been made public if we do it here. Yeah.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Let's
then-
talk about it.
Yeah, that I just forgot to tell you about. We've got Metal 1 that's been out since October of
Yep.
last year.
Mm-hmm.
We filmed Metal 2 and 3. There's going to be an intermediate to advanced coin magic DVD and a DVD on all gaffed coin magic. So you can look for that late October, early November of 2011.
And I think Jones
both
here is
releases?
being extremely modest, because Metal 2 and 3 pale. I mean, Metal 1 pales in
So suddenly it's really hot at camp.
Yeah!
If you're picking this up in the middle, know that it's not sweat.
Look, Metal 1 just pales in comparison to what we did with 2 and 3. I think it's some of the best work I've ever seen out of Eric. And you know that magic is good magic when you're sitting behind the camera and you can't track what he's doing because you're too busy looking like a 4-year-old, And that happened a lot with me and Peter. So there's just some fantastic moments that literally made the hair stand up on the back of my neck with these DVDs. And I think where 1 was such a great compendium of beginners foundational material, it skyrockets with 2 and 3, man. So I definitely give you.
Sweet. And
All
just
the
so
love.
and just so you know, the Peter he's talking about is Peter McKinnon,
McKinnon.
the
Yep.
new videographer, I
Production
guess.
manager?
Projection manager.
Projection manager?
Production
Oh,
manager.
production
I
manager.
screwed that up, yeah.
Okay, so he also is a fellow Canadian, lives literally about an hour and a half away from me. And you think we'd have the time to get together? No, because he's flying around the country, going from convention to convention with these two. But thanks. But yeah, how did Peter? Did you just did you do a demo or something? How'd you hook up with Peter? Just out of curiosity.
Peter, we were working with a couple of editors at the time, and I needed some extra help. And Peter had done Lee Asher's Thunderbird thing, and he did some teasers when Asher was releasing the Nuggets.
Okay,
and
so that was him. Okay.
So I said I needed an editor, and was talking to Asher, and he put me onto Peter. And Peter's just a nut bar.
Yeah.
Like, he's a complete fruit pie, man. And I like those type of creative guys, just high energy and just is out there. And he has a beautiful eye, and I think that everybody's really going to enjoy the look that he's going to bring to our stuff. Like the Red Artifice trailer. It was way over the top. It was like, we put so much production into that. But the point was not to make something that was just over the top and wacky. It was just to show people that what can happen when you're having fun. When you have the tools and you have the talent, why not make something amazing? You know? And that's exactly what it did.
And I know some
Blast.
secrets about next releases, but of course I'm not allowed to say nothing. So when that happens, you'll see. You'll
Not allowed to say nothing?
Not allowed to.
He's
Yeah, he's
coming
getting-
from the south.
yeah.
Hanging around these guys too much. But when I'm allowed to say stuff, I'll say stuff. But don't be asking me for any, what's coming up, because I follow the same rules that everybody else does. And so then on that note, I'm going to let you go. The sun looks like it's about to peek out of this. There we are. There it is. Sun's about to peek up. We're here at Sorcerer Safari, Haliburton, Canada. If you have seen the movie Meatballs, then most of this will look familiar. If you have not, don't bother. It's really a bad movie, actually. But peace out. I will see you guys later, and keep an eye out for further releases. Thanks a lot, guys.